I found a leopard in the road. What is that? What is that about? Who's that, Seb? Well, there we go. If I wasn't paying attention, who is this? I don't know this leopard. Viewers, can anyone tell me who this is? Some of you know how to look at the bum of these animals. Is this perhaps Kuchava? I've never seen her before. Is that? I think it's a female, Seb.
Yeah, I think so too.
How marvellous, though. No, not Hukumuri. It's not big enough. Kirsten, don't know if you want to ask Tris to come down Guaripan Road. Could that be Hukumuri? This looks like a female. This looks like a female to me, but I can't be sure at the moment. It's a very relaxed individual. It's not Tandi. Anybody out there? I know some of you are very good at looking at the backside of a leopard and telling us who it is. Don't know how you do it. But how fantastic. I must just talk more nonsense next time. Okay. There is 3 spots on the right. So that is the easiest way to find a leopard, ladies and gentlemen. And don't look 100% where you're going. And it'll lay there in the road. No. Kirsty, you saying Hosana? My favourite leopard, could it be? Ladies and gentlemen, James Richard has confirmed this is Hosana. He's spotted something. Sorry, he spotted something. Oh, James Richard thinks it might be Hosana.
Yeah, it's a male.
It is a male, because I can see his testicles. 3 spots. It could be Hosana, ladies and gentlemen. Seb, he's come back to say hello to him. But he looks like oh no, he's going to show us. Here we go. Hello. Is it you? Is it really you? Is it really you? Hosana? Come on, give us a look. It is a young male, that's for sure. I mean, but Seb was getting me a bit confused thinking it was a male, but it didn't look very big and very strong. But it's definitely a young male. 3 spots on the right, that is correct for Hosana. Is it him? It looks like him. Hello, young sir. I spoke about him earlier. Someone asked me about Hosana. I said it earlier. I said Hosana's out of the picture, so now Tandi's the superstar. How's that possible? How is that possible? And we were heading back north, and I said to Seb, no, we're not going to, let's go this way. That's that gut that happens inside of you, ladies and gentlemen. Hosana, because I almost said something before when I said Hosana, FC's got goosebumps. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in FC, there are more goosebumps about to come because he is the beautiful, beautiful little chief. But what I was going to say is that Tandi is becoming my most favourite leopard, purely because we see her all the time. But those words hadn't even come out of my mouth earlier when Tandi disappeared. And I'd said that Tandi has become the star because Hosana's disappeared off the scene. And what are the chances that he just materializes here up in the northeastern parts of Djuma? I've never seen him in this area. He generally spent a lot of time around the dam area. Oh, I am so happy to be bringing tears to all of your eyes, in a good way, of course, in a good way, because this is a very special moment. I'm still trying to collect myself. Are you all sure? I think it is. He hasn't quite given... What are you looking at, boy? There's a Franklin in the road coming towards him. He's trying to make himself go flat. We might see him pounce on a Franklin. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be joined by Tristan. He's on a bit of a private drive at the moment, so he'll be very excited. He has not seen Hosana since... When is the last time he saw him? Some time ago. But Hosana's ears are flat, folks. He's looking intently. There are some Franklin, maybe 10 to 12 meters from him. and they don't know that he's here. I don't want to move at all because the birds might fly away. I do want to make a space for Tristan to pull in a second, but he's not quite here. Now, how this Franklin can't see him? He's a leopard lying in the middle of the road. Well, we nearly didn't see him, Seb. Tristan is coming. He is going to be so excited. You can see Hosana started to try and place his back legs. Come right up next to me here, Trist. He's looking at some Franklin, Trist. There's Tristan. I don't think he heard me. That's okay. Hosana's looking at Tristan. Hosana's looking at Tristan and Ferg. And look how excited he is. Look at his face. Yes. I don't know who's more excited. I think Tristan is more excited. Yeah, I think he got that. I think he got that, Kirst. I think he knew. He was like, well, when he looked up, he saw the camera glaring at him. Well, folks, the Franklin have not spotted him yet. They're just plucking around in the grass on the side of the road there. They're still a little bit too far away from him. But it would be very interesting to see if he tried to catch a Franklin. We're a little bit of an hors d'oeuvre for him. I don't really know what to say. He's come from... Oh, there we go. He's going to stalk. Is he going to stalk? Come on. Show us what you've got. You beautiful cat. There he is. That's definitely him. I know that face very, very well. Now he's back on the property. We don't know when he arrived, and there must be some new smells for him in and around. So he's going to spend some time moving around and trying to figure out who's the newcomers in the area. He's probably going to smell his dad is still around and be like, oh, hang on. Here we go. You could see he had a bit of a... You could kind of see his mouth is open. He did a bit of a phlegm and grimace there. Very characteristic when they taste some urine or some territorial sign, and that phlegm and grimace opens up the top of the mouth, the roof of the mouth, that shows them all sort of pheromonal communication signals. Now he's looking straight at that Franklin, and it has no idea that he's there. Maybe he's tried already, and they are quite happy that he's not close enough to them. I don't know, but that just goes to show that a Franklin can be 15, 20 yards away from a leopard and it won't be shouting. You're seeing it right here, folks. Oh, he's tired. Time to get up and go for a walk. Oh, happy birthday to those of you out there. I am super happy to be able to provide this gift for you. A little bit selfish myself because I'm claiming it too for myself. Seb and I were just claiming what a great afternoon we've had. It's just been super, super epic. There we go. He's starting to stalk up, and I was wondering what could be better than what we've had. And well, there we go. Nothing, in my opinion, beats seeing Hosana after not seeing him for, I think you said sometime in May, Kirst. That's a very long time. He's busy stalking. Look at the very nice pose. I'm not going to move. Franklin might just be a little bit too far out of reach. He's going to try. I had him a few months ago killing a scrub bear very close to my vehicle. Maybe he's tired of the fame and glory he's been getting down in the Singita area. All of you, and especially for those of you who are having a birthday today, of course that is what happened. Your birthday wishes have been answered. Look, he's getting comfortable in a little muddy wallow. We had the Uncle Huma pride drinking out of that muddy wallow quite a few months ago, and not long after that Craig and I followed them into the thickets here. We're going to move up now, seeing as he's gotten more comfortable. Craig and I followed them into the thickets. Okay, well, I know James Hendry is going to be quite excited about our find. Let's go and see and hear his thoughts.
Well, James, I didn't do anything. I've just come to where Steve and Seb have done a sterling effort today, and well, between you and Steve and everybody else, that we've found 2 generations of Karula's lineage, which is absolutely ridiculous. And the fact that we've got Hosana is just one of the most insane things, and couldn't be a better sort of kind of return. And at the time that he's come back is just absolutely awesome. To come back from Mara, and kind of, I've been hoping that we would see him or Tamba come back, and the fact that he's here as though he never left is just one of the most insane things. And so super exciting that he is here. Hopefully this is going to be a sign of him sticking around a little bit longer. Hopefully Tingana is not going to spoil the party and chase him away, but it is absolutely epic to have Hosana back with us here on djuma. It really is very cool. And I was saying that we have a situation where Tamba might come back too, because Tamba is really not far at all. I got an update this morning that he's just off our western boundary and has been slowly heading east over the last few days. So who knows if he's going to arrive back. Can you imagine if both the young boys arrive back in this area? Now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to move forward a little bit so that we can just see if we can get his face, because he's facing away from us at the moment. So I'm going to try and... Nope, he's going to decide that he's going to walk if we move. So he's already learned from his great-grandmother, Safari, who every time he used to start a vehicle, so she would move. And it seems as though he is watching something. Where he is now is a good place, though. He's in this little ditch, and so he can hide himself away and watch what's going on. But look at that posture, and look how big he's gotten. He's massive. He's got these big shoulders that have developed now. He really has bulked out quite a bit. He's looking phenomenally good. So, you know, we always wonder about the young boys, and we always wonder how they're going to fare when they're on their own. But Hosana is, I mean, as from day one, has really just taken to single adult life, probably as good as any leopard ever could. What are you doing, boy? Who are you stalking? Look at him. He's definitely stalking something. He's positioned himself so that he's got himself in the right place to watch whatever it is, and there's a game path that comes right down here. So I don't know if there's something that is coming down towards him, but he is definitely stalking something at this stage. His ears are picked up. He really is in a place where he's going to hopefully sort of provide us with an epic hunt. But this is absolutely amazing. Now, I believe a lot of you are saying hopefully Tamba arrives back just to kind of complete a wonderful sort of few weeks of leopard activity on djuma. It's absolutely insane. Now, Kirsty, you say you see a Franklin. Well, it is Hosana, and so Franklins are in trouble when he is around. He obviously is not shy to go after anything. He always is chasing things around. Remember when we had him killing an Egyptian goose? So he does not shy away from even birds. Although I see lately he's been trying to target bigger animals and has been kind of going after things like impalas and duiker and various other things and trying to hunt those. And as he's growing bigger, obviously he's going to need more of those meals than he is going to need things like Franklins. But he's definitely interested in whatever it is. If it is a Franklin, well, Franklin's about to have a very bad day, because either it's going to be caught and be killed, or it's going to have a situation where the sort of life is going to be frightened out of it as a spotted blur bursts towards it, and it has to try and get out the way. So we should see something pretty interesting either way from it. But, I mean, you couldn't have scripted this any better in terms of having our boy showing up. Is just, I don't know, it's one of those amazing things. And now it makes sense as to what Tandi's response was earlier, that she was running back in this direction. I think that she may have heard Hosana or seen Hosana and kind of ran this way, and maybe that's why her behavior changed so much. But where has he come from? I just have no idea exactly which way he must have come from. For me, being where he is right now, I have this opinion that he might have come in from Buffelshoek side. We did have tracks for a male leopard coming in a few days ago from Triple M Gowrie Main, and I know that the last time Hosana was seen before that had been south of Arathusa Camp, and so those tracks make sense that if it was his. And I wonder if he just didn't go all the way northwards and then cut into Buffelshoek, and then has now come out of Buffelshoek towards Buffelshoek Dam, which we know Hosana used to enjoy spending time there, and now he's kind of moving his way back down to Chitwa Dam. I wouldn't be surprised if Hosana tomorrow morning is at Chitwa Dam. It's not that far from where we are. I mean, it is a walk, but I wouldn't be surprised if he heads there and we find him on that side. But either way, I mean, it is just ridiculous that we've managed to come across our favorite little boy of djuma. I suppose we can't call him a little boy anymore. He's really sort of filling out, and he's becoming a fine-looking male leopard, that's for sure. Absolutely amazing. And he looks in really good condition. There's no sign of any cuts or scrapes or anything like that. It's absolutely very cool. Right, now, I don't want to take away any shine from the person that did all the hard work to find Hosana, and so I'm going to back out of this, and I'm going to leave Steve to Hosana. Also, I don't want to disturb him too much, and there's other vehicles around, so I'm going to carry on, and we'll leave you guys with Steve and the beautiful little prince.
Well, thanks very much, Tristan. Very interesting. The very hard work that we put in. The decision was made to, instead of go left, go right. There he is. And that is what we did. And that is as much hard work as we did for the afternoon. And that is what we often talk about. It's all about luck and a bit of a gut feel. And the gut feel is what provides these sort of things. And when you don't find something, then the gut feel was just maybe a bit off, or maybe it was right. And like Thandi, for example, disappearing like that, maybe something was there moments before. But I think a lot of it's got to do with the fact that I spoke about Hosana only moments before, what must have been 10 minutes earlier, about how Thandi has really stolen the limelight from him, because he was, in my opinion, constantly on camera, and miraculously out of nowhere he has arrived on the scene. I'm still absolutely gobsmacked at the entire occurrence of this. And he was indeed watching a Franklin that was actually an Natal spur fowl, but he's still looking at it. It's a little bit too far out of his reach, just in the road up ahead. But it hasn't yet shouted at him, not once. That's a Natal spur fowl there with the orange legs and the orange beak. He wouldn't mind a crested Franklin or a Natal spur fowl. Either way, he'll snack down on them. There's the male with the spurs on the back of the leg. Larissa, very good question. I mean, he's definitely bulking out. He's definitely bulking out. I mean, I was a bit confused initially seeing him, because he doesn't have the neck yet. He doesn't quite have the dewlap yet of a big male. But Tristan is right in his statement about his shoulders starting to fill out. You can kind of see that a bit in the side of him. But he doesn't quite have the necessary size, I don't think, to challenge another male. But then you never know. Well, he is the son of the Duke, so he's still got some growing to do. What is he? He was only 2 in February, so he's still got some time. Still got some time. I think by the time he turns 3, a little bit older than 3, he'll be in a very good size and condition to be challenging. I think at the moment he's still a nomadic leopard, moving through, trying not to inconvenience anyone. Maybe found himself in a little bit of trouble down in the south or in the west, down in the Arethusa's and Singita areas. Bigger males maybe not tolerating his very playful, peaceful nature. So he decided instead to come back up towards the zen-like behavior of his aging father, who seemed to always quite enjoy his son's appearance or presence, although he might not have always shown it. There was never any, well, too much aggression anyway. Beautiful, beautiful chief. Just going to move up a little bit on the side here so we can get a look at his face, because, you know, I've always regarded spur fowls and Franklins to be quite reliable indicators of a leopard. Now you can see the neck. It doesn't quite have the dewlap. And it was for that reason I didn't think of him as a big male, and immediately went with a female sort of thought. So well done on that, Seb. Here's some Franklins shouting in the distance, but they're not looking at him. Yes, well, he is beautiful, and you're all commenting how happy you are. You heard in Tristan's voice, you saw in his face when we scanned over to him while he was still in his private drive. You saw that face. And I've no doubt there was "how cool is this" in one of his sentences. Indeed. Hosana, the little chief, where are you going to go to? Carol, yes, he's definitely a sub-adult. He's past the juvenile stage. I mean, he's over 2, so he's completely independent of his parents, of his mother. and he was actually from the age of around 1. But 2 years is definitely a subadult nomadic male leopard. They start moving around, avoiding confrontation with other males, trying to... Ooh, is he still busy stalking? He's definitely got fowl on the mind this evening. See how gently he puts his feet down. Very deliberate in his movements. What are you going to feed on this evening, little chief? Doesn't seem to be looking at anything anymore. But so yes, sub-adult definitely until 3.5, maybe 4 becomes an adult, about there, maybe even 3.5, depending on the sort of the size and the genetics. Okay, we're going to move up a little bit there. We don't lose him. He is indeed. He is looking in and around all of the little shrubs and bushes for anything he might be able to chase out, namely a scrub hare or a small francolin or spur fowl. We haven't seen anything bigger than that, but anything will do right now. This beautiful, beautiful male. I know we keep talking about it. Everyone's very excited we found him. It really is difficult to put into words. You kind of think that he's gone, and I know a few people after a little while have asked questions, is he coming back? And I've even made the statement, well, I doubt he's really going to come back, purely because you think he's moved on, you know. I think I was talking yesterday, he's found another place, nice sort of area, maybe a girlfriend of his own down there, and yet he's come back to surprise me and to make me eat my own words. Well, I'm getting used to that on this show. The leopards are very surprising in what they do. Linda, that's a very good question, you know. I mean, I don't think Hosana's got any mating interest in Thandi, so he would have no reason to harm her cub. She is kind of his surrogate mother, so she did kind of raise him after his mother passed. But it's really hard to say. We don't know. I don't know. He is a male, and Thandi has got a little cub. So it does happen. It has been known to happen. But generally it's because of a male having interest in a female. And generally that male would have to be, in a way, territorial, or he wouldn't even be tolerated near the female. But they seem to have quite a strong bond, and there are things happening in and around the leopard behavior and things in the sands that I've never ever seen or read before. So we're making history in a lot of things we do. And watch this space. It is also a very good chance that that he was indeed near Thandi earlier. She was looking off originally when we had her, kind of in the easterly direction, and then she ran off after what we think was a steenbok, and then she bolted back, I mean at high speed. None of us could find her again, and maybe this young gentleman had been snooping around where she'd secreted Tlalamba, or maybe Tlalamba had seen Hosana and run back in fright to Mum to tell her the tale. We don't know. We didn't see it. We can only speculate and add certain words to the theories, but that is about all. All I can tell you is that he is back. How long he will stay is very hard to say, but we do know that he's moving around. Well, he was, and he is definitely hungry. Mina Moo, you want to know about leopards in human areas? Well, most certainly. I don't think it's as intensive as in India. India is, I've never been personally, but I think it's quite built up. The sort of conservation areas are right next to sort of urban areas, and leopards there move into the cities to feed on domestic dogs and cats. That does happen in a number of towns in in South Africa, a number of areas. The Garden Route is a place down in the Southern Cape that most certainly leopards live in and around there, and domestic dogs and cats go missing on a regular basis. North of Johannesburg, outside of Pretoria, there's most certainly accounts of leopards living in the mountains and coming into towns and stealing dogs. They've got them on CCTV cameras. They see it happen. But in the really built-up areas, we don't really have too much conservation too close around. But in the mountain areas and certainly in sort of wilder areas adjacent to more built-up areas, most certainly these animals do move. They are the most adaptable predator on the African continent, probably in the world. And they are the last one to vacate human-occupied areas. They seem to just blend in and take the scraps, the rodents that are attracted by people, and the cats and dogs that are bred by people that go feral as well. And there's actually studies in India of the importance of leopards in and around, because they move in and they remove the feral dogs and cats, specifically dogs, from sort of the urban areas, the ones that are obviously not being looked after, not being treated, are prone to disease, and the leopards clean them up and actually doing quite good, because what it's doing is the feral dogs are hunting indigenous wildlife. And so by having leopards around, which also would be hunting the indigenous wildlife, there's nothing more destructive than a pack of marauding dogs. Oh, there we go. And so the leopards, by picking off those dogs, are actually increasing the diversity in the conservation areas in and around the built-up areas in India. So that's very interesting. And I have no doubt it's quite similar in South Africa, although it's very difficult for domestic animals to survive in the wilds of South Africa because of the prevalence of animals like Hosana and his ilk. I know a lot of you are going to agree with me, but I have certainly missed that face. Haven't you, Seb? Yeah. Okay, well, don't worry, folks. We are going to stay with him until the end. And in the meantime, let's go over and see exactly where Tristan is headed off to.
Well, Steve, I think you and probably half of the world's population missed that face here on Safari Live. It's incredible that he's back and that we're seeing him. Absolutely astounding that he's kind of back in this area. I'm sure James is going to be chomping at the bit to try and get into sort of that sighting and to go and try and see Hosana at some point. And yes, Kirsty, I am stupefied. Stupefied at the fact that we have got our little prince on djuma. It is absolutely wonderful. But what I am trying to do now, stupefied and flabbergasted indeed. Now what I'm trying to do this minute is I'm actually going back to roughly where we had Tingana this morning, because we're going to complete a little sort of, hopefully, dad, one of his sons, and well, one of his mating partners. That's kind of what we're going to go for and see if we can get it right. I don't know if we will, but we will very much try. Now during the course of today, I've been kind of pottering about and I've forgot a lot of things today, and so just now I was quickly kind of scanning through my phone and I forgot that one of probably our super fans that we have on Twitter and on various platforms is Ali Safari. Now Ali is not my Ali, but another Ali, and she is always probably one of the kindest people to all of our presenters and is always very fond of everybody, says nice things. It's her birthday. So bad about it. Happy birthday, Ali. I hope you're having a wonderful day, and that I hope it continues to be a good one, and that you had a great present in the form of not only Shadow's sister. I know that you love Shadow, and unfortunately we wouldn't be able to find Shadow, but you got Thandi, the sister, and you got Hosana as a gift. So I hope that you have a good day and that you enjoy it thoroughly. And like I say, it's always nice when people have birthdays and those kind of things. Good.
Hello. Well, we are back and still with Hosana. Excuse me, I'm just going to quickly give an update on the radio. Yeah, sure, come along. You'll find us. We're on the road on Guaripan. You can either go Drakensberg or Nyala Road North, either way. We're about halfway through on the Guaripan Road. That's perfect. We'll get our visual. I'll update you if he moves. Okay, so we got another vehicle going to be joining us shortly, but don't worry, we are not leaving Hosana, and we're going to stay with him. And I'm glad he's choosing to walk that way. He was looking right for a moment, and right is not a very nice area to drive into. I was alluding to it earlier. Craig and I followed the Nkuhuma Pride into there once. It wasn't easy. And the only reason we found them was because they killed the kudu. Otherwise, I don't think we would have been able to keep up with them or follow them or find them again. The IR was on, because now seeing him in the IR is how Seb and I had him the one time when he looked over the bonnet straight through my soul. So a very big birthday shout out as well to Linda, not to be left out. We're thinking about you here as well, and Hosana himself is singing you happy birthday in his own little leopard way as he waggles his little bottom walking along there. Let's keep up with him. We don't want to lose him. Linda, happy birthday to you on this beautiful Saturday. And the wind is starting to pick up. I feel that cold front is going to hit us by tomorrow. Daniel, I think they do. I think they do. Leopards know that they're camouflaged. They trust their camouflage so well that basically that's one of the things that we learn walking leopards on foot, is that if you walk past a leopard and you don't look directly at him, he'll just sit there and he won't react. But as soon as you... Oh, what's he got? As soon as you look at him, he's been spotted, and then he either has to run away or attack you, for example. But it's not what they do. But the camouflage, they believe they are invisible. That's why if you walk past a leopard, you do what I'm doing now, and you just keep walking, and then once you're safely away, then you look back and then he runs away. That's kind of what you do. So they believe themselves to be masters of camouflage. I think from a young age, mum leaves them hidden in the bushes, and anything that walks past, they just kind of hide down like that. So I think they do know that they're camouflaged. No, Seb, where's he gone? Okay. I was looking back at you. Yes, Johan, just come onto Pan Road. We're in the road. So what has he spotted? Is there another scrub here about to pop out? He's listening. Something's moving in the bushes there. Yes, his body is poised. He's not... See, he's ready to just jump at anything that might pop out. What could it be? This time of night might be a scrub here coming about. It might even be something as small as a mouse or a gerbil. Remember, he believes he's invisible. Nothing will see him sitting there. Here we go. Here comes the poise. Here we go. Oh, that was a scrub hare. He missed it. But he could probably tell that it was coming. Now, folks, we're in infrared. The scrub hare's still in front. We're in infrared, so we're not influencing him in any way. The scrub hare might be able to see him, might not. I don't know. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Djuma in the Sabi Sands, where we are out live in the African wilderness. Falconbridge, and we are out here on safari, and I quickly just need to use the radio. Johan, just keep coming along there and you'll get him visual in the road. Just come slowly. And now that my work on the radio is done, we're going to move up. Please feel free to post your questions and comments below. We have not seen this male leopard for some months already, and we just managed to find him. And there he is walking. We're going to have another vehicle in the road in a second. We do have other landowners and lodges in the area that come out here to view our wildlife. How marvelous. having a little look at the vehicle. He is very habituated. Do not think that he is tame, ladies and gentlemen. He has seen vehicles since he was very young, and he doesn't see them as a threat. He doesn't see them as food. See, he just moved around. That vehicle is coming to join us. Didn't realize he was going to bump him in the road, and now he's moving past. So we're going to try and get around as well to keep up, because we were with a leopard earlier that just disappeared and we lost in moments. So we don't want to lose this one. Marvelous technology that we have out here. Isabella, no, they don't bite the wheels, and if a cat happened to get close enough to a car to maybe jump on it or touch it in any way, we would most certainly prevent it from doing so by just tapping the car or speaking to it or just making a noise to make it realize, oi, don't do that. We'd never physically hit the animal, but you don't want them to get to that stage where they think they can climb on cars or bite cars or anything like that. They need to see us as the unobserver or just the observer, and we are coming and going. Okay, so the vehicle behind me, they can't see him. Natalie, you want to know how old he is? Well, he turned 2. He turned 2 in February. So that would make him 2.5, just over 2.5. So he's not a fully grown male yet. He's still a youngster, but he is the favorite in everyone's hearts. We've caused a few tears this evening. There's some of our viewers that have been wanting to see him. A few birthdays out there, and he is definitely the ladies' man. I want to pull over for the vehicle, but I can't because it is not the best terrain to do so. He's going to go left up here, so we're going to pull up on the other side. I'm going to give them the opportunity just to have a little look. I'm going to get into low range here. Teresa, he is an absolutely gorgeous beast. My favorite leopard in the world. I nearly said my favorite leopard to another leopard earlier. The words never came out of my mouth, and I mentioned his name, and then lo and behold, he materialized. So we're going to, I'm in low range now. I'm going to find an access and go in here and follow him for a little bit. And you're all on board. Hold on very tightly. Okay, let's see if we can get one last view of the little chief. I think best. Okay, I don't know where he's gone. There he is. He's just in front over there. Very hard to see. He's walking through the thickets there, but I don't think we're going to be able to follow through there. But I do know there's another road coming up on that side, so we'll just jump through to that one. I'm sure he's going to get onto. Okay, well, while we try and relocate in it, we're going to have to, if you'd like to keep watching, we are still live for another few moments, so jump on board in Google Safari Live and you can follow some more. But thank you for joining us for this quick action broadcast. Thanks for the questions and comments, and have a good evening. Okay, just moving over for you there, Seb. Just going to move over, sorry. Just moving right over onto the side. What a fantastic afternoon it has been, ladies and gentlemen. Sorry about my head in the road there, but he is moving. I don't know what he's going to do this evening, but the evening will continue as it does, and Hosana will come. He will go. We'll be heading on home soon. It has been one of those very interesting afternoons where Seb and I have really enjoyed ourselves. Thank you for being a part of the show. Thank you, Hosana, and for all of those having a birthday today, for bringing him to us. Tundi obviously was involved, on foot with elephants. James, Tristan and Ralph, thank you. And to everyone else, have a beautiful evening, and we'll see you again tomorrow morning. Have a beautiful night.